First of all, you don't know me.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, drama girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.
For those of you just joining in, so far we have decided that if Dan Scott was a drag queen, his name would be Lucy Fur. And Soph is exhausted and misread the synopsis in a hilarious way. Soph, do you want to take a crack at it and give us the rundown?
Redeem yourself.
And see if I can do it right? Yeah. Hey, guys, I'm an adult who can read. We are here today with Season 9, Episode 5, The Killing Moon. This originally aired February 8th, 2012. And oh boy, is it a doozy. Nathan is missing and Haley fears the worst. As Quinn distracts Jamie, Haley searches for Nathan. Clay finally gets answers about his condition. Meanwhile, Julian attempts to get back to a normal life while Brooke and Millicent try to give Tara a chance. Do we? I don't know. This was directed by our very own Greg Prange and written by the wonderful Shayna Fewell.
Woo! Yay!
And tell them what they've won, friends, because it's not just the three of us talking about today's episode, is it?
No, it's not. It's one of my all-time most favorite humans, Tyler Elizabeth Marie Hilton.
That's right, my full name. I so rarely hear it all together.
Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you, guys.
I was wondering if after Rob said that, you were going to say Chris Keller likes it.
Oh, man. Tyler Elizabeth Mary Hilton likes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine if we were like, what do you think you learned about yourself from the show? And you were like, I also like to talk in the third person.
Tyler Hilton thought it was a great episode. And Tyler Hilton, especially like Tyler Hilton's work in the episode.
Have any of you known someone that speaks about themselves in the third person for real in real life?
No.
Unironically, no, but I
so.
actually see it happens a lot on reality television. Not surprising.
Does?
Wait, what?
Yeah, are you kidding me? You guys?
What do you mean?
Like The Situation, I think he did that kind of stuff, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like every other season on Survivor, there is someone who talks in the third person. Yeah, it's weird.
It's really I keep trying to, as an actor, when I see strange behavior, I try and do it so I can see what it feels like in my body. Like, what would motivate someone to do that? Like, what does that feel like? It's so strange. I can't wrap my brain around, like I'm having the empathy part of me is having a hard time understanding what would motivate someone to do that. I can't grasp it.
I just feel like it would make me very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
For my money, only two people have ever really pulled it off. And that is the dude from Big Lebowski.
The dude.
And you as Chris Keller.
Yeah, that's it.
I agree with that.
You are making me wonder for the first time if Chris Keller isn't his real name. Because it's only the kind of thing you can only do with not your birth name. Like the dude, the Situation.
Were you talking about your brand?
Yeah, like what if his name is like Ryan, or whatever. But like he's like, one day he woke up, he's like, it's Chris Keller, bitches. Or whatever, I don't know. But I don't know if you can do that with the name your parents give you at birth. That's really strange. That's sociopath.
Yeah, there's got to be either like sociopath. Yeah, it's like dissociative behavior, or it's not your real name. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where you speak about yourself almost like
when
you're
they
a
do
company.
when they do like a young Sheldon, young Chris Keller spinoff, we'll figure out the backstory there.
Why does that not exist? Pitch it now. Tyler Hilton, pitch that right now.
The fact that they did not do that with Michael May as soon as our show wrapped is crazy.
They should have.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We're all just quiet imagining it now. Like drifting off into the distance.
Radio.
Well, let's jump into the episode.
Yeah, lots to love about this episode, I thought.
Yes.
It's not weird for you guys to be watching the show, but I have to say, first of all, it is so weird for me to be watching the show again. Like last time I was on Drama Queens. Yes. I didn't watch the episode. I just came in to be like, hey. I even told Rob, I was like, I am really having resistance to pushing play here. Cause like, I don't even know if I watched the episodes at the time. I read the scripts, we saw blah, blah, blah. I've seen but I don't know if I've ever even watched a full episode of the show start to, I don't know. I don't remember. And I was really nervous watching it because I was just like,
really?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys have to think back to like starting the podcast. Like, I don't know. Was it weird for you to watch even the first season? Because like
I was going to
you're
mention
9
that.
seasons in now.
Yeah, like I can relate to what you're saying because you haven't been doing this with us for the whole time. But for sure, when things started, I was definitely nervous to push play. There were a lot of times I was like, I know what's happening in the next episode. I don't want to watch myself. I know what was happening in my life while we were shooting the next episode. I don't want to watch this. Yeah, there's a lot. And by the way, most of us had not seen, well, none of us had seen the whole show in its entirety because we just didn't. We were working on it. We just weren't watching it. So yeah, join the club. You're right in good company.
A few times in the beginning, I remember we would have viewing parties at your house, Sophia, but we would all watch the first scene and then we'd all just be talking and partying after that. Like nobody sat and watched.
We never watched anything.
So it's like I watched it in a tour van. We were just on tour last week and we were all watching it as a band. And it was like easier for me but I was just like,
oh my God,
I can't sit in a room by myself and just be watching this. This is too uncomfortable. It's like, but anyway, it was really fun. I loved it. It was actually so cool seeing you guys and fun reliving it. But I did have, it was so nerve-wracking, but really fun.
How was it for you? Because for us, it was always so fun when Chris Keller would come back. A, because obviously we've all been friends for 100 years. And B, because you were always such a delight to add into the story. Like you got to be a chaos goblin in the best way, I think, especially in season 9. But what was it like for you to have these majorly important storylines and then, go be Tyler Hilton, go make music, go live your life, and then come back into the show? Did it always feel easy to come back or was it weird?
It was weird. It's such a good question. And in the beginning, I was nervous because I was like trying to get myself going. Like I wanted people to know who I was and I didn't have a lot of name recognition. So I was new to everything and people would stop me in airports all the time and be like, I hate you. I hate that you're breaking up Nathan. And I was trying to promote my first record. And I was like, wow, doing the show was a huge mistake. Like I'm trying to like get something going here. And it's like, I'm getting known for this whole other thing. And so there was like a lot of like, but I was having so much fun doing it. By the time I came back for season 9, I feel like I'd done so many other things. I'd been doing music for so long and felt like this thing it shows. People loved Chris Keller by that point. They were like, they got what was going on and they understood like, there's no threat here. He's just a hilarious little fly that's buzzing around and he's harmless. And so then everyone could just relax and like him, or something. So then by the time I came back to season 9, I was like, oh, game on. Like it's, I get what's going on. I get what the deal is. And this is going to be so fun. And I had no like qualms leading all the way into it and having so much fun. I'm so glad I got that second time around with him because it was a blast, but yeah, it's funny to say that.
I'm so happy. You look like you're having a ball.
Oh my God.
Joy, you're having less fun in this episode. Rob's not really having any fun either. But Chris Keller's having a great time.
Yeah.
And to be clear, my pause at the start of the episode, I was going to say I wasn't pausing because I didn't like the episode. I was pausing because my first note is about Dan just being off the charts shady and how it is. He's being so egregiously shifty that it almost makes me wonder if I still think he's behind the Nathan thing, but it's like, it's so heavy handed. Some of the stuff with Haley, I was like, what? Is he even trying to hide it? Like,
what is this choice? Like Paul, we know Paul's so intentional about his choices. So there has to be a reason.
Yeah.
For example, the first scene we see, Haley's getting the babies, or she's feeding Lydia. And it was made clear in the previous episode that Dan knows that Nathan is getting home that night because they have that exchange when he's like, I'll leave when he gets here. So the fact that he wakes up the next morning and by breakfast time, there is still no Nathan. And his question to you is just, is everything all right?
Yeah.
To me, it's like, no, you know your son should be there by then. So it seemed like You were being intentionally obtuse or just like, like clueless.
Yeah, I guess I assumed that she probably would have just told him like he didn't. I think he took a later flight or something, but he should have had some kind of follow-up question. It's strange.
Yeah, even if he had opened the episode with, do you know if Nathan got on a later flight?
Yeah.
It would have tracked a story. What's interesting to me about what you're saying, and I'm so curious about your experience, sorry to jump to the end, but in that sequence with Haley and Dan in the kitchen where it's like he is the guy right before he kills the person in every scary movie. And it's like, do you think that they said to Paul, we need you to seem guilty at this point. We need to give Haley a reason to suspect you. And then you get to be a hero. Like, I almost wonder if he was instructed or if the idea, among him and the writers and everyone was to almost have him overplay the bad guy to misdirect the audience.
Yes.
That I
because it's really, he gave me the creepies holding your shoulder. I didn't like it.
Well, it had to be scary enough for Haley to think, I've got to pretend my way out of this situation and get away from him.
Yeah.
Like there had to be motive for her.
Yeah, like a real threat there.
A real threat. So, and Dan has seemed, the only other times I've seen Dan desperate as Haley was a desperation that was pleading to be understood. And this was a desperation. There was like an anger in it. There was like it didn't feel like a poor me desperation, which is how Dan usually plays it. So because there was something so aggressive about it that I think that gave Haley the motivation to go. So I think you're right. There probably was some kind of push to like more. You've just got to make it so intense. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was scary. I wish I had watched it twice because it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob. I can see you want to say something and I'm fumbling.
Well, it felt like the world's least enthusiastic gaslighting, where the situation
That's the name of my next record, actually.
The situation at hand is actually so serious. And the fact that he's convincing you you're crazy, but then also doing it just like he's just worked a 12-hour shift. He's like, hey, it's fine. It's fine. You're being crazy. That was odd to me. Like, I feel like if you are going to it just didn't match. Like the energy didn't match the stakes and the severity of the scene, I thought. That's why I was very confused. That's actually kind of, to me, what made it more menacing was the fact that he wasn't really trying to plead. He was just like, I'm just going to say this and hopefully to just accept it. You know what I mean?
But
like, which is scary.
Like, won't you, Haley, just let me explain. Let me explain. It felt like he was trying to say, like, you don't understand. Like, I'm trying to build a relationship. I had to get in the door the moment that he gave me the baseball in the picture. He was vulnerable and it was my only chance to have a relationship with my son. And like, don't you understand? I mean, those are the words coming out of his mouth. But the energy, like everything about what he was saying wasn't what he usually does, which is the shrink back, like, can't you see? Like, just feel bad for me. Please feel bad for me. It was aggressive.
Yeah. Well, but to your point, when the script delivered, everyone got to the last page and read, Haley calls 911 and says, there is a murderer in my house. So if that has to be the end of the script, you have to reverse engineer the whole episode to make that choice make sense. So you're right. I bet it was the sort of thing where because that had to happen, Paul had to make choices that were atypical and were threatening and were things that could cause that reaction for you as an actor to genuinely, in a scene with him, feel afraid enough to call 911.
Yeah, I don't think Haley's ever felt afraid with Dan. I'm trying to think back to their interactions over the years. And she's disliked him intensely. She's hated him. She's been grateful to him. She's been appreciative of the fact that he is a dangerous man because it worked to her advantage when it rescued her son and when it helped Nathan with the Renee situation. And when, I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of those scenarios where like the things she hates the most about him also rescued her in certain situations and people she loved. So it's a very complex, disturbing dynamic, but I don't think she's ever actually been afraid of him, like her own safety with him. That was the first time ever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, strap on your tinfoil hats with me for a second.
Let's go.
My favorite.
I agree. I agree with you, Soph. To me, what they asked Dan to do this episode was so heavy-handed and kind of out of character that it did feel to me like this is the intentional misdirect. We're going to make him look so guilty so that everyone understands, so that way there's a twist. Here's what I think is actually going to happen. I think it's two misdirects, right? I think there's this obvious one we're seeing right now, but I still think Dan is behind it. So for me going forward, my belief is I am waiting to have the Dan Scott didn't do this, or that Dan Scott was behind the kidnapping, be disproved. Does that make sense?
You're waiting for it to be disproved.
I am exactly. My thesis going into the rest of this season is that Dan Scott is the actual perpetrator behind Nathan's kidnapping, and now I'm still on board, even though I know we're about to see some flip and that it was a big misunderstanding.
Right.
I think that is the writer's room being clever, and I still think that is the thing. And so I am until it is disproven for me very clearly. I still think, man.
Hey, do you guys know what happened at the end? Because I don't remember. Yeah. So I'm actually living this too. Like,
no, we don't remember.
No clue.
Like 4 people who were on the show got the scripts, filmed it, and just forgot.
Yeah.
And are just
By
like,
the way, you're obviously there because there's a so you didn't see episode 901, did you?
No.
The first episode of season 9?
No.
Okay, so it opens with a flash forward montage.
Oh, right. That's what I was telling you guys about. That first page that I read. Right.
Yes.
Yeah, he was just talking about this in the Q&A that we did in the previous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it opens with him cocking the gun in the car.
I didn't realize that was a jump forward. I was just saying that's how the first page of the season.
It's a jump forward.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And I remember
so it's like a crazy thing because you're like Chris Keller's literally there for something major and you don't remember either, which makes the rest of us feel better because we have no clue.
But I don't know if I'm a pawn. I can't remember if I was a pawn in the game or we were doing it together. I don't remember.
I know in this, I appreciated the fact that when Haley's trying to go to the police, like you sort of dropped the Chris Keller act. You were like, no, seriously, let me actually help you because this is real life and I like to play and keep life fun and interesting, but this is serious. Let's actually take care of this together. I loved that. So I think he willingly walked into this.
Yeah.
I will say with that scene, though, I was surprised because what I thought was going to happen was Chris is being very mouthy to the cop, just being an absolute ass. Okay.
Who, by the way, that's Stephen Elliott, who was James's stand-in.
Yeah.
Is that why it looks so familiar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. But when Chris says to Haley, hey, give me a beat, I'm going to talk to him. What I 100% expected to have happen was Haley walked away and Chris turns and goes, hey, sorry, I just had to look tough for my friend, dude. Like we're in a pickle. Like I expected a complete deflation, a humble thing. And the fact that that didn't happen, it kind of made me go, okay, so Chris isn't quite as smart as I thought he was. Like if he really was suave, I don't think he would have hammered on the dude for 60 seconds about being lazy and bad at his job and then turning around and going, hey, but can I get a favor? Can I get a favor?
Yeah. No, I think that it's broad movements with him, not fine little cuts. I think he's barely getting by on huge Chris Keller strokes wherever he goes, hoping and praying it works out.
I love that.
That's a great way.
Yeah, he's operating with a saw, not a scalpel.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 But it was still great. It was a nice scene. It's nice.
I think like when he said that, sorry, flight attendant, instead of doing it. Like I think
that killed me.
I know, me too. I forgot about that. I was like, oh yeah, he is out to lunch, like totally out to lunch. Like even when he's like, oh my bad, he's even wrong on that. Like he's just He's
Oh, I
not
slept with the
of
cop
this
once too.
world.
That'll be great. That'll help out.
Yeah,
Not even
that's
thinking
totally
like
gonna help.
I never.
Maybe she'll
Yeah.
be
Maybe
there.
she'll be there. Maybe she'll help.
Yeah, even though I never called her the next day, of course she's still going to help me.
No.
She got a chance with Chris Keller.
Living another storyline, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice though, and it's such great injection of comedy into these moments of tension. Like Joy, all your scenes in this episode are stressed and emotional and terrified and begging for help. And there is something so funny about Chris being so who he is and utterly ridiculous that it gives Haley just a moment to get a breath. Even you just being like, I can't be, you need help, but you can't believe it's got to be from this guy.
For sure.
And it's really refreshing as an audience member to get the moment of levity when you're worried for this character that you love to watch.
It is nice putting those two together too. I was thinking like Haley's been so moral and so just like she's the total opposite of Chris. Like she's been steady and true and about one thing that's been the total opposite thing of Chris. I mean, I feel like you guys have had, vacillating between different things. Haley's just, she keeps on keeping on. And for her to have Chris is the guy that like there could not be a less Haley person, to be her partner. It's funny. Love that.
Does that feel
great.
like the overarching theme of the episode is help? Like, look, people like seeking for help. That's what's jumping out to me.
Boy, or people actively avoiding help.
Whoa.
Looking at you, Clay. I mean,
Wow.
Yeah.
That really blew me away when he was like, you've repressed something that's causing all this destruction in your life. And Clay's like, I don't want to know what it is.
Give me some sleeping
No,
pills.
it's not.
Can't you
I
give
don't
me
want to
a
know what
pill?
it is.
yeah, it was like going like, oh, you have a rusty nail in your foot that's going to give you tetanus and potentially kill you. And he's like, let's just slap a Band-Aid on it.
Like, we're going to be fine. It'll just
What?
grow into my skin. It's no problem.
Yeah. It'll be okay. It is really interesting though, Rob, and this is hats off to you, because rather than make such a big deal out of what you were being told, you were almost so pragmatic that I was like, what's going on here? You're like, well, what are my options? I don't really want to deal with this. And when we finally get the window into Clay saying, Sarah died, I remember every minute of it. If anything's worse than that, to the point that my brain doesn't want to know it, I don't want to know it. I went, the way trauma changes a brain, like I get what's going on here. And it felt like a moment where I got to understand what was going on in Clay's world in a way that worked so well because of how you played it. And I know, as any of us would, like, I know you had issues with the storyline, but like you made like a good sandwich out of this.
Oh, thanks. I got to say, I mean,
True.
the material for the 4 episodes preceding this was far more confusing and problematic for me than the therapy stuff.
At least they finally explained fugue state.
Yes, at least they explained
Yes.
that. And also, as strange as it seems to have someone be sitting in front of a person who could help them and then have Clay saying no, I actually can totally understand that. I mean, anyone who's ever been overwhelmed knows that even asking or being asked to add the slightest change to your plate is too much. So even though it could be advantageous from the long run, I get it. If he's tapped out with grief, or if he's just overwhelmed in life, especially with all of this crazy stuff happening to him, I understand him just going, no, I'm going to exist from the neck up. I'm going to be pragmatic, and I'm good. I don't have the bandwidth for that. So I welcomed this. And also because David Naronia, who plays the doctor, I had worked with on Lipstick Jungle, so it was getting to like work with a friend again, and he was great. So this is as strange as this storyline is and is going to become. It was a welcome reprieve for me from what we were doing the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, I liked it.
It also felt like we really got back a piece of the Clay we've been missing. Watching Clay and Logan immediately bond over airplanes and all their really nerdy little facts and the things that they're into. And I got to see some joy on your face again. And it felt really nice because we're watching your character want to push away this experience, but we are seeing that getting closer to himself, to whatever's going on with him, is helping. And it's like, I don't know, there was just something really nice about watching the two of you and you kind of even getting a little nugget of wisdom from the kid.
Sweet.
You know, flying's the best part.
I love you guys together.
He's such a good actor.
He is.
Pierce Gagnon is his name.
So
and
precious.
he had just done Looper with Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Hadn't come out yet, but he was so good.
Such a
and I had
natural.
so much fun working with him. And I have to say, knowing what is to come, it's fun rewatching this and finding the breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
So, but that's something else Rob and I have in common. I ended up working with Pierce on Extant with where Hilarie and Jeff were in also after this. And so Pierce was like my little robot for 2 seasons that I worked on. Literally, that was the character. So Pierce and I were like a duo for like 2 seasons on the show. And so it's funny that it was right after he worked with Rob and so we were so close because we had just left Wilmington and then went on this other show together, and I didn't know him as well, but he's like unbelievable actor. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So what is he doing now? We need to find out.
I just checked in with him and I told him, I was like, dude, Rob and I were just talking about you. Like, he and I have been hanging and we forgot. Yeah.
Isn't he in high school?
Yeah.
Must be. We're so old.
Yeah.
But he's great. And
so
it was nice to see Clay being happy with baby Lydia. Because I agree with you. It's just like, let's see some more colors besides just,
Although
the
it
grief.
did bump me that Quinn had to come visit him, though he has 24 hours to be in this facility to try and heal. Like, can you not just give him a day?
This goes back to what we were saying last episode where Quinn's entire existence is Clay.
This is just ridiculous. But it was nice seeing him with Lydia. That was sweet.
Why is Tara so mean?
I don't understand.
Does she have a crush on you? Why is she so obsessed with being mean to you?
Yeah, I don't know.
Get it. She's the new kid on the block. You didn't steal something from her. She poached your chef. She slanders your business. And now she brings cockroaches. It's like she's in a prank war with you that you didn't even know you were in.
She just seems to enjoy causing trouble no matter where she goes, even with the situation with Chase, and she's cheating on her boyfriend. And it's fine. I mean, I can accept all these things about a character, but give me a reason. I would just like to know, so it's not just two-dimensional. Just
to Soph and Joy, in watching this storyline with Chase, Tara, and Chris, did either of you bump the fact that Chase, once he discovers who Tara is, just keeps hooking up with her?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross.
He's done some growing recently.
Michael May's character keeps like being like, oh, but you wouldn't do that, would you? Like, he really lays on the guilt thing and he just goes for it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I love that Michael May is like, well, you didn't know.
Yeah.
And he's like,
well, not at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would have been better is if he'd stopped it sooner. There'd been some device to get them in the space with, Michael May. And then he did what he did, which is you let the kid down and he's like, screw it. I'm going for this. Like, but it's like you've you've apparently been sleeping with this girl every night. So like, are we supposed to be so shocked that you're going to do it again, even though you said you wouldn't?
I wish they would have done something where it's like maybe she's pushing really hard and he's like, no, stop it. Leave me alone. But he gives in every time. If there's some kind of thing where he's like actively trying to avoid her and then it still keeps happening, at least there's some kind of conflict. He's just openly continuing on.
It's just weird. Also, I just have a question because at one point there's like the great scene. She runs into the studio and like jumps into your lap and he's like, gotta go. And I'm like, was it so insane for you to be like, hi, Steven's girlfriend, let's make out in front of your boyfriend?
Oh my God. I didn't know if like we were allowed to say that or not. It was
right.
awkward. And it was like, and it happened right from the first or second episode. And it was just like, it'd be the three of us on set and it'd be like, action. And I'd be like, sorry, bud. Like they were just, I mean, it's like fine. And they like laughed about it was like, but it was, you know, there's actually been a few times because I think earlier in the show, I was in bed with you and you and Chad were together or something like there's a few times where the girls I've been with, I've been in the same room with like the other person. And I'm like, oh, okay. You couldn't have given me a single.
Well, you also just realize our job is high school forever.
Yeah.
Or like a boyfriend who's like not in state right now or on set, but whatever.
Or staring at me.
Or staring at me. Yeah. Cool.
Speaking of the terror of it all, the scene where Brooke and Millie go over to whatever. What is Tara's cafe's name? Do we know it?
Tree Hill Coffee.
Okay, whatever. Knock off.
Tree Hill Cafe.
Yeah, Tree Hill Cafe. And Chase and Tara are in there kind of canoodling, where she's canoodling up on him. And Brooke has the line, first of all, ew. And I love that line. And I realize Brooke recently said that line to Victoria. You've already said that line this season. When you come back to your house.
Oh, I've been saying it forever.
Oh, okay. Because I just thought, does it, like, did the writers realize they did this? Because you come back to your apartment and it's when your dad is sort of bouncing around and Victoria sort of just like unloads on you. And then she starts to talk about her sex life. And your response is, okay, first of all, ew. So when this happened, I was like, hilarious line. I love it. And is this becoming a catchphrase?
I guess so.
I love that. I want to start using it actually. First of all, ew.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, I like that she brings. I like in real life. I know the plant had cockroaches in it, but in real life, this in-person friend request I think is adorable. I would like to see more of that in real life. I just wanted to say that.
I had to look up what year this came out because I was like, where were we at in the social media timeline?
It was all just happening. Like, oh yeah, it's all Facebook, all the stuff.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember if I had a BlackBerry or iPhone at that point, like if I'd made the jump, but I don't know where we were at because we started the show with like razors, I think all of us, and I don't know what we were using
all of us
the last season, but anyway.
I had made the jump, but I feel like I still had my BlackBerry for work. Like I didn't want to email on my iPhone for a while. Right. I don't know when that stopped.
That was really weird.
What I will say hit me, which I thought was so interesting, is that the early jokes about the internet, like in-person friend request, wish there was an in-person block button, like is so funny to me about how new it all still was. But when I realized with that hideous note that she left on Julian's car, I was like, oh, this was the comment section before there was a comment section.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Like, people just say the most heinous, horrible shit, and they're like, deal with it.
Wait, speaking of you getting upset there, like, they have those rooms where you can just get out your aggression by breaking stuff?
Rage rooms.
Rage rooms, that's it.
Was
like, getting to just go nuts. Like, I was so jealous.
Fun trashing a restaurant?
Yes. You guys, the whole storyline with her in this episode was so fun because I got to go on like an earlier season Brooke tear and, come to eviscerate someone being mean, except now it's, for you and I. And the sort of tag team, good cop, bad cop of Brooke and Millie really makes me laugh. And then we get to the end of the episode and it was like, I just got to go absolutely ballistic. Mm-hmm. And they were like, destroy everything. And I was like, everything? And they said, everything. I said, okay. So I'm like going through just smashing things and, throwing all the stuff everywhere. And I get down the counter. And after I throw all the cake tins and whatever of pastries, the next thing are all these like big bottles of syrup. And I shove the bottles of syrup off the counter, like behind the counter toward the coffee machine. And they go, cut. And they run in and they go, not those.
Oh, man.
Those belong to Port City Java.
Oh, come on.
And I was like,
way.
You guys. So I felt so bad because I broke all of Port City Java's actual like flavored syrup for the coffee bottles.
That is totally, come on. That's
that's so hard to clean up too. glass and syrup. What
Well,
a
the fact
nightmare
that
for them.
they yelled cut, why didn't they just let you keep going? If the damage was already done, they could have at least used the footage.
I don't know. They came in and then it was like, oh, we're going to have this. They had like the vat of mashed potatoes and then they put the plexi over the camera and I got to throw it over the lens. And
So
that was
fun.
also really fun. But by then I was like, look mad. I'm so sorry. I did that. I broke it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm angry. I swear. Like, I just remember the end of that scene feeling like I wanted to die because I destroyed their stuff. But it's all right.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers has enough money. I'm sure that they replaced them.
I bet it was cathartic for you. I mean, after you're in your 9th year on this show, I mean, there is a lot of stuff you have had to swallow and hold on to quietly that I bet it felt good as hell to crack that door open a little bit and let some of it pour out.
Totally.
I have to say, I thought the note, discovering that Tara was the one who wrote the note, felt like it was just one step too far. Because I understand a sort of friendly rivalry competition. We both are in the same business. We're across the street from each other. So everything up to this point, I can go, all right, you're just that type of person. You know, you like to start shit and okay. But then that move just felt so cruel and below the belt that I kind of had to go, okay, wait, who is this person? Like, what's actually wrong with this person? Because that's a whole different thing.
It had to justify Brooks doing that, though. Like, I can't think of any other reason why Brooke would have
That's true.
No.
permission in a sense to let
I
herself
get that.
go like
I'm
that.
just saying it's an odd thing for someone who doesn't even know.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
those people to be like, let's be honest, that's arguably one of the
That
very,
no
very
was
worst things you
wild.
could have happen to you as a parent.
Yeah.
So to have some rando lob that dig at you.
Well, that's why it's like the comment section, like Sophia's saying, like, because it's just, I guess the permission that people feel to be able to say horrible, awful things, quote unquote, anonymously. Tara was sort of giving us a taste. I guess she's the type of person that felt something that was advanced in a negative way for that time period that so many people now feel as a daily part of their routine, apparently.
Yeah, it's become so common for people to just be so hideous with people they don't know, about lives they don't know.
Wait, on the internet?
The sort of glee. Oh, you don't
Internet
say.
are you on? My internet is lovely.
I'm on Twitter and I haven't noticed that.
I love the World Wide Web.
Puppies and rainbows.
I'm also wondering why I haven't seen any fans wear burn babies, not burgers, or whatever, burn burgers, not baby shirts. You just don't see that. What a crazy note that was, though. I was
absolutely insane.
It's
for
so
like a
awful.
second, I had to giggle because it was so. I was just like, whoa.
Wait, so that's exactly what Rob is saying. So, and to your point, Rob, now we need a reason. Now it's like, okay, so fine. That was enough motivation. We got the big blow up of Brooke in the cafe and it's a big moment for the show. Okay, writer's room, you got your thing, but I need a payoff as an audience member. You better explain to me in the next episode why this girl is so psychotic. Like, what is going on with her?
That's exactly it. Is that she now needs to be more than the girl bouncing between the two guys. Like, you now have to explain to us why that happened, because that
and
that does
can I
not
just
track.
say this is why the show is so good, because I was so nervous to watch this first episode. At the end of the episode, I was like, I need to know what happens next. And that's what I did when I first got on the show and I watched the first season. I was like, I don't know about this show. I watched the first episode and I crushed the first season in a weekend. And that's what the show does. Is there's something, it's like that sweet, salty thing where you need to take another bite. Like, I just like, and we were talking about this. I was just thinking, I wonder if I should watch the next episode. Cause I can't remember what happens with Tara and I want to know. And that's what the show does.
Yes.
Keeps coming back.
It's so smart.
Drama umami.
Drama umami.
Drama umami. Oh,
So good.
that is so good.
So good.
Back to that scene with Brooke and Millie in the Tree Hill Cafe after Brooke has the great line of, first of all, ew. Oh, okay. First of all, I love seeing Millie and Brooke back together. I love seeing Millie not having to take part in the sad storyline they've given Mouth and Millie this season. So to see her getting to do stuff with you, I was like, oh, that's right. This is that amazing actor and phenomenal character that we've grown to love. I adored her coming in to have your back in Tree Hill Cafe and doing her best zinger at the end of it when Brooke is really kind of coming down on her and she says, or I think Brooke said something effective like, I can be a bitch or something like that. And Millie's line is, look up bitch in the dictionary and you'll see Brooke. And your face is kind of like, okay.
I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah.
Good try. Good try, sweet one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Chase goes to talk and it's just dead.
Yes.
You know?
I loved that.
And Millie's trying so hard to hit that level of rage.
Oh my God. It's so good.
I loved. You go, Joy.
It's so much fun.
I was going to move on to stay in the topic of Brooke and Julian, just move into this storyline with Austin because, he's continuing. Oof. I don't know. I guess I'm a little torn between if they're pulling it out too much and drawing out the storyline too much, or if this feels real. Like as dads, do you guys think this is realistic?
That's hard to say. I love the way Brooke starts off the episode.
Yeah.
To me, I just thought like, this is how you show up for your person. This is being a good teammate.
I felt that too.
Really, really cool. Really cool.
Here's what I would say about it. Have your grief. Totally get it, but his behavior it starts to become self-indulgent.
Yeah.
When you choose to go to a bar and then you pick a fight that you're going into to lose, that's self-indulgent. Because you don't know, something bad could actually happen to you. And so you're doing this to punish yourself and your family may be the one who actually suffers.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it would have been in the last episode. If they had done that in the previous episode where it was all part of the same immediate emotional storm, I guess I would have believed it more, but.
Yeah, but the fact that they stretched it and then this episode, he's going from grieving and feeling so much shame to his shame kind of metastasizing into anger. What frustrates me is him going and getting the shit kicked out of himself if he loses teeth, if his ribs get broken. How's he going to help me with two babies?
Yes.
And that's the difference, I think, between the reality of a situation and what winds up on camera sometimes. I like that we're not just glossing over it too soon and not letting a man have feelings, but the disregard for himself and his role as a parent is a little hard to stomach. And it does feel like, I don't know, it just feels like it's shifting in this way. And maybe that's kind of the point.
Yeah, maybe they'll address it in the next episode.
I appreciate so much the way Brooke reacted, that him saying, no, I need more anger towards me makes me be like, no, we don't want to promote that. We want to support the fact that she was so big about it, anyway. I feel the same way.
Well, and what I loved about the conversation they had is that rather than be like, Julian, how many times do I have to tell you it was an accident and da-da-da-da, she starts to say, well, here are all the things I did wrong. I knew neither of us had slept. I knew this, that, and the other. And in a way, without saying it, you see him look at her like, well, that's ridiculous. And she's like, yeah, and it's ridiculous that you think it's all your fault.
Yeah.
Like in an interesting way, calling out the realities of having not one, but two infants and trying to juggle work and careers and all the things and the sleep deprivation. Like, it was important to ground them back in reality. And it felt so effective that then when he completely leaves reality and does this, like, he's gotten hit in the bar, he's gotten dragged in the back, his face is bloody, and then he's asking the guy for more. I'm like, all right. It's like a hat on a hat.
One thing I will say about it, though, that I actually enjoyed, and it's very interesting because I didn't pick up on how you were saying the note was like the original comment section, because this was the early days of the internet. So I didn't pick up on that when I watched it. But what I did notice was when it's the confirmation bias, right? And especially as actors who are being discussed online, you can find someone to support any idea you have about yourself, right? And so it's very interesting to me that Austin or that Julian he's around his doctor, he's around Brooke, he's around all these people being like, you're human. Cut yourself some slack, give yourself some grace. And then the one random anonymous note from a stranger, he goes, you see, I knew it. None of you were telling me. And I as I watched, I went, oh my God, this is the internet. Because this is that thing, right? Remember when there was an IMDb message board, I could read 40 comments about myself and I will only remember the one that rips on me.
Finally, someone's telling the truth. Right.
I knew it. I do have weird eyebrows or like whatever it is, you know? And I was like, oh, this is what's happening with him. Like that confirmation bias is so strong. So that was the one thing I will say that I agree. It wasn't a smart move as a responsible father, but I thought justified, you know, that him going to that length.
I liked that too, because it's such a human instinct. And that felt so grounded. I guess it was just how far they took the fight.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, man, this is pretty gnarly.
I do want to say in like a small defense of his action, there is a small percentage of me, and I meant to say this earlier, that does a little bit understand. I think when you're like frustrated because you don't know how to punish yourself and you're like, I just need some repercussion. You know what I mean? And I think as that builds and builds, I don't know when, I can't remember when we realized he got the idea. Like if he didn't know he was going to be doing that till he got to the bar, or if he went to the bar for that. But I do in a small way, not to that degree, understand being like, someone just punished me. I think there's some like religions and some cultures that are like this too. Someone just punished me so I can move on, you know? And I think his like version of that was super intense, but also like, and he took it too far. But I think guilt is funny like that.
Yeah. We were talking about this in a previous episode too, that there's no particular like linear course to grief. It just sort of does what it does. And, you know, you think about parents who's like one child dies and the parent often will go through a season that hopefully is short, but could last for a very long time, where they feel they're spending so much time punishing themselves that their other kid kind of grows up going like, well, I'm still here too, you know, and the spouse is saying, well, hey, I still need help. But they can't stop punishing themselves. So they end up checking out of the other lives in their life, which is a very real thing that happens. So I mean, I do appreciate that it's interesting that it's being explored. Maybe there was just something about the way, like the fact that it's being drawn out in this way. I don't know. There's something that rang untrue, but also I really get it.
Okay, yes, and thank you, because that makes me realize I should clarify my sort of earlier observation about how far it goes. I think what it is I absolutely get the kind of manic behavior. The grieving isn't helping. The shame is getting worse. Now it's turning into anger, which is such a stage of grief, right? But I think what it is, it's not that it doesn't feel rooted. Austin did a beautiful job of showing that. It's that I think it was a poor choice in either, you know, the final pass of the approved script, which those decisions always came from the top, or the choice rather than to have them keep fighting in the bar and Julian to get thrown into something and be like, is that all you got? And then get hit again.
Right.
It felt the hat on the hat is the choice to move them out to the back alley and have the fight continue and then have him start getting kicked in the ribs over and over again.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
the part of drama. Yes, because it feels like, okay, now we're just trying to explain something to the audience that they clearly already understand. That becomes
like they got it,
much
guys.
less about Julian and much more about writers not understanding their audience's intelligence.
And the kid's ultimately fine. You're right. Like, you know, maybe get a hit in the face, a little, you know, it's like the kid is fine, you know?
That's right. Yeah.
Like what I would have loved, he gets hit down on the ground, cut back to the guy, just finishing punching him, picking him up and slamming him into the wall. Maybe they break like one of those bar wall mirror, you know, that has some beer on it, whatever. And then as Julian says, is that all you got? Like if the bartender had tried to pull that guy off of him and he got one more shot straight in his nose or whatever, it would have been so effective, and the escalation would have meant more to us as an audience because you'd be scared that he was going to get hurt. When they wind up in the back alley, you're going, wait, how long is this?
And how long is it going to go on?
And it takes you out of, it takes you out of the scene. And then it doesn't feel real. It feels like we're trying to do like a Dirty Harry moment. And it's like, it doesn't feel like
it would also been cool if
Hill.
Austin was like, thank you. Patted the guy on the shoulder and walked out the bar. The guy was like, what the? It's just like, that's what I was looking for.
Would have saved a location move as well. Feel me, guys?
See?
It's true.
Smart with the money, smart with the writing.
I would argue that Julian put the baby in about as much danger as the doctor in that hospital scene did when she sets a 1-year-old on top of the patient table and then proceeds to turn her back on the child and talk to Julian.
I was horrified. I was so funny you brought that up.
Yes.
I just thought I missed something. Like, I'm sure there's a hand that something.
You know how many parents are in the cast and crew? I couldn't believe that no one went, hey, whoa, someone tell her she needs to keep an arm on that baby.
Yeah. Especially because that was Rick Clark's baby.
Yeah.
Our AD.
That's right.
That's
oh my gosh. So I would argue in that moment, the doctor was every bit as reckless as poor Julian.
Well, and when she close up writing the prescription, that takes 2 hands. And then it had to be like, there's so much in the episode that's so good. And then they made that poor woman with a straight face say, you should fill this prescription immediately. And it says 1 day of rest and relaxation. I was like, no.
Can I also tell you, as a parent who's frequently tired, there's one thing, especially when we were really going through it, when the kiddos just weren't sleeping, there's one thing I got so tired of hearing. It was people telling me, you know what, you should just like sleep in. You should get some rest. Bitch, do you think I am choosing to go play pickleball as opposed to like, no, I am surviving. I don't have free hours in the day that I can be resting. It's a full-time gig, man. So that's why she's like, you should just take a day off. What? What do you not get about 1-year-old twins?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's
nuts. I always did
nuts.
want twins. I always thought that'd be really cool. But there was something about watching this episode that made me realize, like, everyone always shakes their head at me and goes, no, man, it's crazy. But I always thought it'd be fun. But it would be tough. It would be really tough.
I told Jenny I really wanted twins. And she said, you have no idea what you're asking for. And then we had our son. And I realized I was in so over my head that I can't even fathom what 2 at the same time as a first-time dad would have been like.
Yeah, I am the most, I mean, I am in awe of all of our friends, but like when I tell you there are moments where I just out of the nowhere go like, God, Brian Greenberg and Jamie, they just did 2, they did it. They did twins.
They did.
Like I just think about them and how crazy. Oh yeah, there was a point, I went over there before the boys were a year old. I was like over there to visit them one day. And I just had this moment where I was like, I don't really have anything to do. Like this early evening. Do you want like a hand with bath? And they both were like, what? And I was like, I'll stay. And like they never would have asked. But you
what
realize
a good friend you are.
As hard as it is to navigate an infant, then when there's 2 of them,
especially if
it's
they're
like,
slippery.
It's like 1 is 1 and
like bath is so stressful.
And then 2 is like 8 of them. It's so scary.
It's like I need to clean you, grip you while my hands are soapy and hope that you don't drown. Like bath.
Yeah.
And I have to be on my knees awkwardly and like bent over and then also like scrubbing and getting something done too. It's scary.
Did we talk yet about the look on Austin's face when she hands him that prescription?
No.
I talked about the fact that poor woman was asked with a straight face to deliver that line.
Beautiful. The look he gave her was exactly the look that I had on my face when she handed it to him. I was like, come on, get real.
And also I would say arguably a lot happens in this episode. Arguably the most unrealistic moment is a doctor taking extra time to write a tongue-in-cheek prescription. Doctors are perpetually spread too thin and overworked. Like you'll walk in and be like, yeah, it's probably tonsillitis. Here's the thing. Bye. This doctor's like, I'm gonna make a funny. Hold on, let me write it down.
Also,
and wasted
their prescription pads.
Yeah.
With the serial numbers, because they're so important that they're trying to make sure they're not counterfeited. And she's like, let me just give you one of these. Not
the scene between Quinn and Dan when they're at Clay's house, Jamie's swimming. And it was
so nice.
Lovely, but I really appreciated the moment when Quinn says to him, you know, you did. He goes, how's your boyfriend doing? And she goes, he's getting help. And then there's a beat and she goes, you know, you didn't need to drown Clay. And then perfect Dan way, Paul just goes, it worked last time. And Quinn kind of just goes, yeah. Yeah, sounds right. Yeah,
so
guess
random.
It did. But I loved that exchange in the two of them. We got to see a couple fun dynamics of characters interacting that we don't get to see often this episode, and all of them were fun to watch.
Yeah, they definitely were.
Is Barbara Allen Woods in this season? Where I was like, where is she?
I don't think she is. I feel like she's not.
No Deb?
No, I know. There's so many moments that we really missed her with a wish.
First of all, ew.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Rob Buckley likes that.
That is correct. Hey,
I know. I really wish we'd had Barbara. We needed some Barbara and some Moira on the back end here.
Yeah. All right, we got a listener question. Lainey asks, if you were good enough to be a professional athlete, what would be your sport?
Oh, that's a fun question.
Soccer for me.
Okay.
yeah.
You know what? I just did this Christmas movie where I played a hockey player. Never played hockey in my life. Had so much fun with these guys. And I think it would be hockey because these guys are like the pirates of the athletic world. They're like smarmy, funny, like they're chippy. Yeah, there's something roguish about hockey players, and it's so fun. And I was like, oh, I didn't know this was the vibe. I'm into it. Yeah. And they go, there's something about it. I just like loved it. I was so charmed by it. So hockey, I want to be around those kind of dudes more. Fun.
That is so funny.
Now that you're talking about hockey, I probably would enjoy playing hockey too.
Are we about to remake Cutting Edge?
Let's do it in reverse.
Oh my God. Topic. I would want it to be tennis.
Ooh.
I really want to be a good tennis player. I enjoy it so much. And so if I could be a tennis pro, hot. And a lifelong sport. For sure.
Let's be old tennis players together, all of us. And let's catch up over tennis. Great. Like, Sophia, I haven't seen you in so long. We got to book a time at the court. Catch up.
Oh, yeah. We should hit the court. Yeah.
I'll call Rob and Joy and we'll do doubles. I've been meaning to catch up with them.
Great.
Love that. Love how this sounds.
So cute.
Can we just start? Somebody needs to buy everybody tennis lessons for Christmas so that we can all
as
show
a group.
up.
If we were all in the same city.
In our neighborhoods, wherever we are, but every time we're together, somebody books a court and we can actually play.
And then when we do a convention, we can all like book some time and truly catch up on the court. Love this.
Wait, should we take our first group lesson this fall in Wilmington?
I'm so in.
And we record it and then we put it on YouTube.
We're doing it.
Yes.
No, I'm actually into
Obviously.
Set it up.
Done.
Shall we spin a wheel?
Yeah.
What a good question.
What is this?
Okay, it's most likely to. So, in high school yearbooks, they've got the most likely to blah, blah, blah. This is a thing we do at the end of every episode, and we have a virtual wheel. And give some to us.
Most likely to build a separate closet for just their shoes. Characters or actors? Like, are we talking about the characters in the show?
We do both.
Both, yeah.
I mean, I would say between characters, it's probably a tie between Brooke Davis and Chris Keller.
Oh my God. You might be right.
Yeah. Like all of his boots.
Okay, which of the real life? I'm guessing it's got to be a woman because let's be honest, your shoe collections are definitely far superior to ours.
I 1,000% would build a closet for my shoes. Are you kidding me? Yes, but I don't know many women that wouldn't if you had the space for it.
So it's a tie. All of the female cast members.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you, Soph? Do you have a closet for your shoes?
I don't. It would be nice if I could see them all.
That's what I'm saying. Just to have it all laid out so they're not all like tucked away in random spots.
Yeah, maybe. I was going to say, I feel like that's something
I was gonna
Chantel
say
would
that
have.
too.
Like, she has the most amazing shoe collection.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like she would
1,000%,
have
yes.
that.
Yep.
She wins. Yeah.
Right?
Okay. She wins.
Yeah. I think she
Yeah.
has the best shoes.
Tyler
We should text her and
Elizabeth
find
Marie
out.
Hilton, thank you for taking 2 hours out of your day for a Q&A and an episode and just bringing so much joy and laughter with you to the Drama Queens podcast.
You guys, I love being
love
with the
you.
queens. I love it. And Rob, you're such a great queen. What a great addition.
We love having you.
Thank you, buddy.
Isn't he, though?
Can't wait to play tennis in Wilmington.
Yeah.
Yes.
Done.
Let's do it.
Oh,
See you guys on the court.
All right. Next episode, season 9, episode 6, Catastrophe and the Cure. Let's see what happens.
see you later.
Bye, guys.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Don't forget to leave us a review. You can also follow us on Instagram at DramaQueensOTH.
Or email us at dramaqueens@iheartradio.com. See you next time.
We're all about that high school drama girl, all about them high school queens. We'll take you for a ride in our comic girl, cheering for the right team. Drama queens, smart girl, rough girl, fashion but you're tough girl. You could sit with us, girl. Drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens, drama queens.